Oh, Nozzles, how I've missed you. Nozzles gets a lot of hate, but I don't think that it's warranted. I think he's the best fogger. You could burn me at the stake, but like, I think he's the best fogger.
Upside fogs.
I'm not gonna lie, he's like Whack-A-Mole, but he fogs. Which I don't know if that's the best like case for him, but you know, you get the idea. Once again, this is a older animatronic that I've owned for a while, and I am just re-unboxing him because I've got to set everything up for my haunted house this year. Adapter cord! I gotta set that down gently. I would throw it if it were like foam. Here we've got his arms. He's got fog tubes going through here because I don't know if you knew, but this guy fogs. It's like his whole thing. It's like his whole shtick. Unlike other foggers, like say the fogging Grim Reaper, for example, his whole thing isn't fogging. Like he just fogs to fog. It just comes out of his mouth just because he can. This one's whole concept is built around his fog. Because he's got fire hoses like for arms, and the fog is supposed to be like toxic gas. That is so cool. Now, where his downsides lie and why people hate on him is one, that his mouth doesn't move. He's like a second attempt at as like creating another Whack-A-Mole type character because he glows in black light. Because he glows in black light. But just like Whack-A-Mole, his mouth doesn't move. So I guess they took that opportunity to cut a corner. A major thing that they hate about Nozzles here is his price. He was originally sold for $350. Could you imagine the freaking, the chutzpah, the gall that like Spirit Halloween had to have to sell this animatronic for $350? You would get my like frustration once I have this guy built because he's not worth that. He's a cool animatronic, but he's not worth $350. Oh my goodness. No, luckily when I got him, I got him for $200, which I think he's much more worth. Anyways, here's his face. He's got that like psychotic look to him. He's got the green hair. He's very Whack-A-Mole-esque. Let me set that aside. Unfortunately, he also just has a plastic shell under his face with like latex to make up his skin. Unfortunately, because that stuff dry rots. Here's another fog tube. Connects the two arms and leads to the fog machine itself. This is the connection that will be connected to the fog machine. You know, connections connecting, that's what they usually do. This little thing collects the like extra fog fluid like into the bottom of this so that you don't get a bunch of like fog fluid on the ground. A lot of people skip this step because they fog more if you don't have this kind of collection chamber. But just get a fog machine that's 1,000 watt and he'll look fine. Here we've got his shoes, just normal SVI shoes. They are very, very thin, very, very plastic, very, very shiny, and very, very not detailed. I also packed away with him his black light, which he doesn't come with normally, but I got this black light like off Amazon or something, I don't know. And I just keep it with him so that it can't be lost, because he like needs a black light. He just looks so cool under it. You know how Whack-A-Mole glows, but this guy does more than glow. Well, he glows, but he's got this kind of painter texture to him. Like he's got all these splotches and stains on him that glow, and that just looks so cool. The texturing of his clothes is definitely a highlight. Anyway, here we have his waist piece complete with a hip loop and his motor. Right here's his upper body. And this long wire is to connect to the fog machine. This will help with the programming of the fog machine because Nozzles kind of communicates with the fog machine to tell it to fog whenever his nozzle lights glow, and whenever he moves his arms, it has the fog machine fog. It's very cool the way it's like programmed within him. Here's his neck ruffle. I don't understand why they had this be like a tied thing. Like you gotta tie this together. I prefer the Velcro. It's just easier. There's like no point to having it have to be a tied together piece. Why that's not falling apart is because I like hot glued it. Just kind of skip a step, you know? Anyways, here are his legs and here's his base. Now this guy is pretty easy if it wasn't for the fog, like all the tubes and stuff. I'm going to, since everything's all laid out and ready, I'm gonna move on to where we're gonna set him up. Come on, Nozzles, it's not time for a nap. Well, it kind of is. I'm filming this pretty late. Here, watch, I've got this total pro Nozzles builder. I don't think it matters which side which like leg goes on. They're both exactly the same. Gonna put the shoes on next. Pretty satisfying. Wait a minute, frick. I'm not a pro. I totally lied. His knees go down here. Okay, this makes way more sense. I guess it's been a while since I last built him. It's so nice to get these like animatronics back out, because you kind of forget that like how good they are until you like bring them back out. And it's like, dang, do I really need like the whole new lineup of these companies, or am I good with like what I have? All his clothes look very similar. Like, see, I just thought that was the pants. These are the pants, because they all have just the same pattern on them. So I've used Nozzles for my skit Security Clown 2.0, and I don't think I've used him in any other videos. I really should. He's a good character. And that skit spawned a pretty cool t-shirt design that I made. It's my first piece of merch like ever. And I'm like really proud of the design. Me and my friend like tried to brainstorm and come up with something cool that was based around one of my videos. Security Clown 2.0 won as like the most wanted design because I did a couple polls on my YouTube channel like community tab. And I was like, what series should I do like a merch design around? And people voted for Security Clown, and then I'm like, okay, now which Security Clown? 1, 2, or 3? And 2 won, and that is Nozzles. So let me show off the design. This is the design. It's kind of a play on like smile, you're on camera, those signs for security whenever there's like cameras around. And I'm like, oh, that'd be so cool to have like that be Nozzles behind the sign. And there's a symbol on his shirt that's like toxic waste symbol, but it's also a smiley face. So I'm like, that's perfect. Replace the smiley face with that, and just kind of did some funny editing, and there it is. It should be right below this video, so go check it out. Okay, there we go. Looking snazzy. Okay, it's time for his upper body here. I'm gonna just try and like connect some wires while they're all exposed before I put on his shirt. Oh my gosh, I just noticed something. His motion sensor, like the cap on it, is not there. Oh, that's so strange. Is it in here? I'm not sure where that could have gone. Well, hope that I don't step on it. Time to put his shirt on. Okay, I'm gonna put his arms on now. These arms are super stiff because these arms are moving, and they've got fog running through them and have the nozzles at the end. They kind of have to be really strong, especially because of the position they're in. They're straight out. He's in a very bold position welding wise. I feel like that would put a lot of strain on the welds, but he's been fine so far. Okay, that's one of his arms on. Time to attach his other. It's kind of hard to kind of push all these things through, like his fog tube, his arm, the foam, the extra wires that he has on there. Kind of tough. There we go. Okay, everything is in and connected when it comes to his arms. So time for the crowning piece, his head. I love the way he's like hunched over so hard. His head is like straight out in front of his body. He just looks insane. He's got a psychotic look on his face. Whoops, I forgot to put his neck ruffle on. But now that he's got all his cosmetics on, I'm gonna kind of figure out these tubes and wires inside. He's kind of complicated. And then we shall move on to a demo. Okay, you may or may not have noticed the change in lighting, very, very subtle change in lighting. But I wanted to show off how freaking cool he looks in black light. Look, this is what I mean, like with the stains. It's not like all of him glows, it's just these stains, which is pretty freaking dope. He's all ready to go and plugged into the fog machine. Let's see him go off. He might just immediately cover himself in fog, just beware of that. Hello, Nozzles. Motion sensor.
Get in like a little Halloween box to take the food. I can't get enough of this stuff. Download a big holiday cheer.
Let's get a better angle. There we go. I really like his voice too. His speaker quality could be better though.
Careful where you're going. I'm trying to sanitize this place first. When I'm done, nothing's gonna be left living. Oh, makes your eyes water, don't it?
Okay, let's turn on the lights. Woo, that's a lot of fog. Also very yellow. Let me get my secondary lights out. Okay, Nozzles. Let's see you in your action while it is light.
Make way for the toxic smog. Pretty soon I'll have this whole lot covered.
His left one isn't going as crazy. Oh, I know why. Oh, I gotta fix that. His fog hose wasn't connected to the like end piece here. So it was just like spraying directly into the side of this. and not spraying out of it. Now it looks like his arm is on fire because he filled up his clothes with fog. But keep in mind that he could have looked cooler when the lights were off, but he already looked really cool anyways. Let us see him go one more time. What I don't like is that this totally covers his motion sensor, which is unfortunate. Okay. But I do love him. His mouth really should move. That is like a major flaw, especially for the price. The price is the biggest flaw. If he had like a reasonable price that was like worth what he's worth, he's a perfect animatronic. I still think that he's the best fogger because his whole concept is about the fog, and he's just the most interesting, like, cool use of the fog. It's not just like fog coming out of their chest like they're burning, or fog coming out of their mouth just because. This is like his whole thing. It's awesome. Okay, let's see him go again. Go for it, Nozzles.
Nothing like a little Halloween bomb to set the mood. I can't get enough of this stuff. Get a load of this holiday cheer.
Anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk about Nozzles. He's definitely, like, again, I've probably said it 4 times, favorite fogger. I think that's a very valid take, because like, although he's super overpriced, that's kind of irrelevant to just like when you're judging the prop by its own merits. Like, I enjoy his voice, I enjoy his like the crazy look on his face, the way he moves his arms. The fogging is just awesome looking, especially with the lights built into his hands. It's kind of everything you would want out of like a really good fogging animatronic. His whole concept is built around the fog. With other animatronics, it feels like kind of a afterthought. Take Gatekeeper from this year, for example. He's this like little groundbreaker from Spirit Halloween that slowly rises up and then back down, and he gives you a whole speech. And you can connect a fog machine to him, and he just fogs just out of his clothes. It just feels like something they slapped on there just to give him a little bit of extra value, a little bit of a kick. But Nozzles here couldn't be more different. Now, aside from the price, I think his major flaw is just the fact that his mouth doesn't move. With a character so like crazy as him, I would love for his mouth to move. So, just like Wacky Mole, I would love for Wacky Mole's mouth to move. It's just such a missed opportunity. But obviously that wasn't enough to scare me away from Nozzles. Nozzles is an awesome animatronic, in my opinion. Anyways, that's all that I have to say. Let me know what you think in the comments. Remember to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye!